Here is Danny, and today with a special video on my favorite game. You might know that I do some archival videos here on my channel, for example with the scrapped features of the Battlefield YouTube series, where I even got gameplay of a functional test range in Battlefield 3. But today I got something else. I got some lovely HD gameplay of the Battlefield 3 Alpha and Beta recorded in 2020. Looking at some stuff that has changed and laugh at the amazing bugs in the game. In a lovely 1440p resolution that wasn't even thinkable of back then, which was even supported in the OVA surprisingly. Like the game ran pretty poorly on PCs of that day, so we finally have a nice high quality shot of the long neck bug, something I've always wanted. Let's start off with the OVA. I never played it back in the day, because I never got invited sadly. The first thing you notice is the obvious lack of blue filter. The colors really pop, like the red walls of Metro. And the amazing knife animations, from putting the knife in your hand to swiping it across the screen. There's also a bunch of OVA exclusive melee animations. And I think those were scrapped for being far too long for the game, but damn, they do look fancy. Another thing that I noticed is that the enemies are solid when you knife them, so you can't walk through them. It got fixed in retail though. The other elephant in the room is that the US Assault was white in the Alpha and Beta, but it got changed in retail. However, DICE never changed the voice lines for him. There is also an LFV driving around the map, which you can modify, and even back then it could float in the water. The Jeep stuff was there too, and it makes the LFV go boom. The bullet damage is way higher than in retail, with the M16 for example dealing 30 damage instead of the 25, resulting in a pretty fast time to kill. Another gun that did even more damage was the G3. Dealing 38 damage, and you could snipe people across the map with it and basically 3-hit kill them. There's also no damage multipliers for the legs and such, which is interesting. The engineer also had this really cool repair tool, which I always really missed in the main game. No idea why it didn't make it into the retail game, but it is a shame nonetheless. Some of the items had some pretty funky names too, like target pointer, and a suppressor was just simply called sound. Yes, I put sound on my gun. There were some lovely animation bugs too, like this guy who is basically hugging himself. A longer montage of all those clips is at the end of the video. And as last, the mirror's edge bag was already there, and same for the photo machine. In the beta, everything was closer to what we got in retail, including many of the same bugs, like that you can launch a player, including enemies, by firing your tank. Which was eventually fixed, sadly, after the game's release. The player that was launched also had a chance to T-pose depending on the gun he's using when firing. Like with the recon here. And an extra bug that we noticed is that while his in-game location changed on my screen, the position on his screen didn't, so he could still snipe me in my back. Which luckily was fixed in retail, I think. The toe was also different, where in retail you zoom in the beta it was a third-person view. Curious why it was changed. Another thing is that the Jeep was white, interestingly enough. And of course as last, it has many names, the long necks or dinosaurs or noodlemans as some call it. Probably Battlefield's most famous bug, a bug that should be in every game, else it is a failure and disappointment for me. You could trigger it by crawling with an M416, and if you fire while doing so it becomes even better. Another thing is that the EOD bot had no effects in its video mode. And the video is paired with the glorious Snake Man. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the amazing clips. Thanks to NC Hardcore. And Aim for Kill for helping me out. Subscribe for more. This was Danny. Enjoy the rest of the clips, subscribe for more, and I see you on the battlefield. Did I say subscribe for more twice? No idea.
There you go.
I'm gonna drop that bitch! I'm gonna kill all of them!
He just stabs me.